Hello and welcome to this week's Resto Saga Classic Car Restoration channel video here today about the 1976 Land Rover Series 3 88-inch diesel, and I want to talk to you about a problem that I've had on this vehicle for quite some time that I think I might be starting to get to the bottom of. So it's back up here into the garage. It's been down in storage for a while. So the main problem with this vehicle is that it's never started very well. When I initially restored it, I used the original starter motor, cleaned it up, put it back on again, and it was always quite sticky. Even with a new battery in it, it never really caught on the solenoid, so I eventually got fed up with it and rebuilt it, and there is a video of that very early on this YouTube channel. However, the starting problem still happened. It was never particularly good at starting quickly or turning quickly, so I replaced the starter motor with a brand new one, which did improve things, but it still wasn't perfect. Next up, I suspected, was the wiring. People always comment about the earth braids, so that's one, and there's one, you're not going to see it because the lighting isn't great, but you can maybe see the outline of it down there by the exhaust. Those were all replaced, cleaned, still wasn't great. Put a brand new heavier duty copper wire from here, which goes all the way around the back of the engine block and down into the starter as well. So all the wiring to the starter was brand new. The battery was also brand new. Still didn't start all that well. So I was getting a bit annoyed at this point. I had of course put new plugs in whenever I rebuilt the vehicle, but then what I did was I changed it to run in parallel rather than the original spec, which is series heater plugs, and that did away with this ballast resistor. However, the parallel wired plugs I got were actually Britpart, and with a lot of Britpart parts, they didn't last very long. So I've gone back to the original series setup and used those, bought those through Bearmac, and those have served me quite well so far. Still not starting all that great, not completely reliable all the time. Starts really well when it's hot, but not whenever it's cold. It's very slow to start. Now, what I've noticed of late, I got another new battery because the car had been sitting quite a bit, and I suspected the battery was starting to go downhill. So I bought a new battery, the biggest one I could find. This particular battery is 1000 cold cranking amps and 120 amp hours, so it's the biggest one I could afford. I think it was about £120 sterling, and it's the biggest one that would fit in the battery tray. But I think I might have tracked down the problem now. This was what I had been using. This is a battery isolator. So this part of the isolator goes on the post of the battery, and this is where that braided earth strap was bolted onto. Now this might be all very well and good in the likes of the Morris Minor and the MG, but this Land Rover is using 1000 cold cranking amps to turn a very heavy, cold diesel lump with high compression and thick engine oil. And if you notice, and I did notice, the earth straps were getting really hot. And if you see in here, it actually had started to melt the plastic around here. This is slightly more evident with this, if you see why it's melted around the top of that brass screw. So I think the brass screw was limiting the amount of current that was going between the two halves of the isolator. So what I've done is bought heavy duty battery connectors. There was already one on this side, but I've put one on that side. And this afternoon it started up really well, probably the best it started in years. Now, I've seen other people commenting about other on different threads and forums about people who have a similar situation to this, that the valve stem oil seals, which I did not do whenever I restored this Land Rover, can allow oil to leak down past them into the cylinder, which then creates a bit more drag as the pistons go up and down and the starter motor turns. So that's something I'm going to look into. Now, that's a pretty major job. I know on these engines you can actually change the valve stem oil seals without taking the head off, but I think if I'm going that far, I'd probably put a new cylinder head gasket in and maybe get the head skimmed, just to be double sure that it's all done right. Other engine work needing done is also the the rear valve, rear crank oil seal. Very prone to going in these 2.25 litre engines, both the diesel and the petrol spec. So there you go. Who'd have thought battery isolator, well, actually doing its job, and isolating the battery, but impeding electricity, I feel. So I'll keep you posted on that. Could also be that there's warmer weather at the minute, it's just easier to start. Round here, I know I've mentioned this before, but this is the next job. This is why the Land Rover is up here. This is my supposedly stainless steel exhaust. Bought this 10 years ago from Paddocks, Land Rover parts supplier. Came with the proper paperwork that said it was stainless steel and the little guarantee card, and doesn't look particularly stainless steel to me. So this is rusted to bits. The front third of the pipe, which is around the other side of the Land Rover, but it's a bit dark, so I can't really show you, is fine, but the middle pipe and the back pipe of the silencer have rusted. So that's a bit annoying. And that is why I have bought these two, silencer and middle pipe in stainless steel, and I got those from Double S Exhausts through Bearmac. So that's the next job, new exhaust for the Land Rover. Particularly annoyed with Paddocks because pretty much all the parts that I bought for this Land Rover when I did it were from them, so a couple of £1,000 went to them. But they've let me down this occasion, and I will learn my lesson. Interestingly, you can see there just how far down that rear driver's wheel is sunk into the wheel well. That's due to that spring that I've mentioned before. Being a bit flat. So a couple of jobs needing done on this Land Rover. That spring's going to have to come off and get a bit more of a bend put in it, and that clip there is in the wrong place. I think it's moved. So that's the next job. So Land Rover's up in the garage. I think I might have traced the starting problem, but I'll keep you posted on that. The exhaust definitely needs done, and the spring will also get done very soon. Another couple of wee jobs just needing done, and then I'll also make a few more videos about this while I have it up here. That's my son's car, taking up some space in my garage, but that's okay. I have to start them somewhere. So a bit more of a talky video this time, a bit more of a vlog rather than a how-to video, but hope you all enjoyed it. And I'll make a video of the exhaust going on as and when I get round to doing it. As ever, I reply to all my comments. Please like the video and hit subscribe, and more videos coming along very soon. It looks like I've got an oil leak to look after too. Thank you.